Alright, how does controversy help you to build your YouTube channel? So recently on my channel, SmartyRBX, I've been in a controversy that I created about whether Roblox developers should make games only for passion, or if they should also have a strategy and in fact put that first before passion. And this is a very controversial take in the Roblox developer community because most of them are passion purists. They think that Roblox development is all about art, and if you try to make it about business, you're automatically a soulless cash grab creator, you're evil, and you're just a capitalist. You should never try to do that. You should only make games that your heart tells you to make. Only make what you want to make or what you want to play. So this debate, right, a lot of people would be scared to say such a controversial view, right? They would be afraid when they're in a space where they know that if they say this, if they say what they actually think, they're going to get a lot of backlash. They're going to get a lot of people questioning their credibility. Bro, how are you qualified to have an opinion on this? Bro, you aren't a real developer. How can you actually have a take on this? How can you tell all these new developers how to operate? But what I did was I just said, okay, yeah, I'm probably going to get backlash for this, but whatever, right? I want to speak the truth. I would rather speak the truth than wait around and not say it, hoping that I'll be liked if I just keep it in, if I just hide it away. So I just said what I actually thought. And if you're a YouTuber and you do the same thing and you just say what you think and let people think whatever they want, yeah, there's going to be a lot of people who come at you and try to say all this shit about you, but this is generally going to be good. It's going to boost your brand. So you probably heard the phrase, all attention is good attention. And on YouTube, that's true, as long as you're not, say, committing a crime or something, doing something that is absolutely totally insane. As long as you're just stating a controversial view and it's something that, yeah, it might not be acceptable to say, like it might not be acceptable, quote unquote, in the Roblox developer community for me to say, oh, you should not just follow passion, you should put strategy first. You should actually think like somebody who's in this to make it their career or their business, rather than just be a hobbyist, right? I'm okay with people thinking whatever they want about me when I say that. I'm okay with saying something that's socially unacceptable, and that means that I'm able to gather a lot of attention, right? And I'm also able to align with other people who also think the same way. So now that I'm saying that, a lot of people will think, oh, screw this smarty guy, I don't want to follow him anymore, because now he's actually saying you should have a strategy in your career, but I'm somebody who thinks you should only follow your passion. And I think you should only make games that are very, very high quality, every single model's made to precision with hours and hours of work put into it. Every single script is made with thousands and thousands of lines of code. Everything is made down to the last detail, dripping with love, right? If that's what you think, you're probably going to hate me at this point. And I've just said, okay, that's all right. Because I don't need people on my channel who don't even think the way that I do. So when you polarize people like this by saying what you actually think on your YouTube channel and not holding back, you're going to separate the people who don't even align with you, who aren't even people who you want in your audience, from the people who do align with you, do agree with you, and will actually be true fans of you. Yeah, you're going to alienate a lot of people, but at the same time, you're going to create very deep fans of you like I did. Now, because my fans on YouTube, on SmartyRBX, see me putting out this controversial take, and they see me facing all this hate head on, and they see me boldly saying what I truly believe and not backing down, now these fans are this much more invested in my brand. They're so much more interested in what I have to say. And that means they're going to watch that much more. They're going to believe what I say that much more. They're going to be much more invested in the future. So a lot of people would look at this and they'd be like, I think this. I think, like, maybe you're in the political space, maybe you're conservative, but you have one viewpoint that other people wouldn't agree with in general on the conservative side, right? Well, think about it this way. If you say that view, there's going to be a lot of people who disagree, but your fans are going to respect you more for actually saying what you think, and you're now also going to stand out because you're not thinking like everybody else. You're thinking for yourself, and you're saying that publicly. So stating what you actually think on your YouTube channel can be one of the best ways to build your brand more, right? Because not only are you going to attract your true fans who actually agree with you, who are actually similar to you, who actually think the way that you do or can be persuaded to think the way you do, you're also going to generate a lot of attention, and you're going to be more respected, and you're going to stand out. And what is one of the most important things to YouTube growth? Being different, right? If you're just like everybody else, if you're just another brown cow in the field of brown cows, nobody's going to notice you. But the second you become a purple cow and you say something that everybody else disagrees with, now your videos start getting views because, oh look, here's a needle in the haystack. Here's something that no one has seen before. So when people are scrolling on their YouTube homepage, they see people talking about, oh, how to script your next Roblox game, how to make an obby, how to make a kill brick, making grow a garden in 24 hours. Oh, what's this? Do not follow your passion as a Roblox developer. What? Who even says that? Click, boom, I just got their attention. All these other people didn't. And yeah, you could look at my channel and you could say, well, that video only got like 10,000 views, right? Well, the thing is, this video also got a lot more engagement, and it got me a lot of attention on X too, so it spread beyond just YouTube. So this actually impacted my brand a lot more than a lot of my other videos that have the same amount of views, right? I see a lot of people on X talking about this now. There's a whole debate around this that I started because I talked about how, look, if you're somebody who just follows their passion, never tries to make money from your Roblox development work, you're just a hobbyist. But if you actually try to make money, then you're a serious developer, right? Seems simple to me, seems obvious to me, but this created a whole debate in the community, right? So you might look at it on the surface, you might think, that video kind of flopped, but that you're just thinking surface level, right? You can get 10,000 views on a YouTube short. It can be a video of you feeding a goat some hay, but it's not like that's actually going to build you a brand. It's not like it's actually going to get you customers, spark a debate, or create a huge controversy, or create something that's actually going to propel your channel in a better direction. Most people are just posting random stuff on their YouTube channels. I mean, most people, they don't even think this far. The average YouTuber just posts some random video of them and their friends at the beach, or they post some random TikTok they found that they didn't even make. They're just reposting it, right? So if you actually think about YouTube intentionally, and you zero in on one topic, and you focus very hard on dominating one niche, you're going to go a lot further than most people. And then if you start applying tactics like stating your controversial views on your channel, then you're going to be able to take that even further, because now not only are you being intentional with content creation, you're also doing things to stand out, and you're doing it naturally, right? This isn't contrived, this isn't fake. This is what I actually think, and it just happens to make people think, hey, this guy's trying to rage bait. But I'm not trying to rage bait people, right? I've had so many people on X say that, oh, that's just rage bait, bro. Clickbait. No, that's what I actually think. I don't think you should just follow your passion as a Roblox developer, especially when you start. I think that that is a short-sighted mindset to have. I think it's ignorant. I think it's delusional, because you're just relying on luck at that point. If you are just making a game that you love, but you don't consider if players want that game, you're not being very pragmatic. You're not really actually making efforts to get results, which on Roblox, those are players and Robux, right? I think that following your passion at a certain point, once you've already built up your skill set and your career, can work, and it does for some people, right? Like, people like to point out Deep Woken and all these other games, and they say, oh, they followed their passion and they succeeded. But I say, hey, look, those are just outliers. Look at the millions of developers out there. The average developer is an 11-year-old loading up Studio for the first time, throwing in a bunch of free models, and yeah, being passionate about what they just made, but they don't get any players on that, right? That's the majority of devs following their passion. I'm not talking to the team who made Deep Woken. That's the team who made Deep Woken, right? They're a completely different league than 90% of developers out there. Most devs are just that young kid who is trying to make their first game for the first time, not really knowing what they're doing. And yeah, those devs are passionate, but they aren't successful because of it. So passion doesn't automatically equal success. And these kids, teens, even adults sometimes, they would be a lot better off if they were to implement a strategy. If they were to make games that, yeah, at first they might not really enjoy making the game. They want to make the next Jailbreak, really big game on Roblox. It's very, very complex too, especially for a new developer to make. Open world, cops and robbers type game, right? They might want to make that as their dream game, but they shouldn't make that first. And instead they should make something simple like an obby, which is an obstacle course, or make a simulator, or make Hot Potato even, right? They'd be a lot better off if they did that. That's following strategy, because they're making simple games first to fund their better projects later, to gain income that they can then use to make their dream game down the road. And that's a much more realistic way to go about Roblox development, right? But me sharing this view, I'm able to make my brand set apart. I'm able to then polarize people, divide them into two camps, right? You're either with me or you're against me, and then teach the people who are with me and teach them my framework and teach them what I know about Roblox development, my experiences, the patterns I see and what works for developers, and just overall my approach to development that I see working for most dev, and just overall my insight on Roblox development, right? I'm able to teach these people, and now I'm creating influence, right? And this is a lot deeper influence than if I had not shared this controversial view and just said what everybody else says. Oh, just make games and try to get better with time, right? If I was giving this watered down advice that everybody talks about, just make games and hope everything works out, just be passionate, just make whatever you want. Yeah, I might get a lot more reach sometimes because, oh look, he's waving the flag of passion, just follow your passion. But I wouldn't actually create influence. I wouldn't actually create followers from that who will actually want to be invested in my brand. You also have to think not just about views, you want to think about customers, right? Who's going to buy a product from you? And people are a lot more likely to buy a product when you're sharing views other people don't have, when you're giving insight other people don't give, and when you're bold enough to say what you actually think, right? Just people are more likely to buy from you because you're selling something other people aren't selling. So now if I go and I sell a course about strategy in Roblox development, if I make a new course on that, there's going to be people who buy it, right? Because that's my secret sauce. That's what I'm teaching on my channel. And therefore, the people who align with me on that are going to want to delve even further into my ideas, invest even more into themselves, into my brand, and they're just led into that. They're led deeper into my funnel. So there's a lot of different reasons why it's a good idea to share your hot takes on your YouTube channel. It's not just about getting attention or rage baiting people like most people would think it is. It's a lot deeper than that. It's about creating attention, creating respect, and creating influence. So subscribe now for more YouTube advice based on my experience getting to over 100,000 subscribers, and I will see you next video. Click here to learn more.